In modern football, loyalty is rare. But Francesco Totti gave his entire life to one club and one city: Rome. To football fans across the world, Totti was more than just a footballer. He was identity, passion, loyalty. He was Roma itself. Known as Illinois Capitano, the captain, Totti became one of the most loved players football has ever seen. Not because he chased fame across Europe, but because he stayed. Again and again, while football changed around him. Francesco Totti stayed loyal to AS Roma. And in doing so, he became immortal. Born on September 27, 1976, in Rome, Italy, Totti grew up surrounded by football culture. From a young age, his talent was impossible to ignore. His touch, his vision, his creativity. Even as a child, Totti played with confidence and imagination beyond his years. Nicknamed a Bimbo de Oro, the Golden Boy, by local fans, he quickly became one of Rome's brightest football hopes. At just 16 years old, Totti made his professional debut for Roma. Nobody could have imagined what would follow next. Because over the next 25 years, Francesco Totti would become one of football's greatest symbols of loyalty. As football entered an era of massive transfers and superstar contracts, Europe's biggest clubs came calling. Real Madrid wanted him. Other giants wanted him. But Totti refused to leave Rome. Again and again. Because for him, football was about more than trophies. It was about belonging. Former Roma manager Fabio Capello once said, "Totti sees football before everyone else." And watching him play, it often felt true. Totti combined creativity, vision, finishing, technique, leadership, with extraordinary calmness under pressure. He could score spectacular goals one moment, then deliver impossible passes the next. His famous chipped finishes became iconic across football. Fans called it the cucchiaio, the spoon, and few players ever performed it with more confidence than Totti. In 2001, Totti achieved the dream of every Roma supporter. As captain, he led Roma to the Serie A title, only the club's third league championship in history. Rome exploded with celebration. For many supporters, it remains the greatest football moment the city has ever experienced. Because their captain had delivered glory to his people. But Totti's story was never only about trophies. It was about connection. Few footballers have ever shared such a deep emotional bond with supporters. At the Stadio Olimpico, Totti was treated almost like royalty, the king of Rome. And for Roma fans, he truly was. Internationally, Totti also played a major role for Italy. At the 2006 FIFA World Cup, despite recovering from serious injury months earlier, Totti helped guide Italy's national football team to World Cup glory. His calm penalty against Australia in the knockout stage became one of Italy's defining moments of the tournament. And when Italy lifted the World Cup in Berlin, Totti completed another chapter of his remarkable career. Across his time with Roma, Francesco Totti played more than 780 matches and scored over 300 goals. But statistics alone can never explain what he meant to football. Because Totti represented something disappearing from the modern game. Loyalty, identity, love for a club beyond money or fame. Even late in his career, as age slowed him physically, fans still packed stadiums simply to witness him one more time. One final pass. One final goal. One final glimpse of magic. And then came the farewell. In 2017, after more than 2 decades with Roma, Totti said goodbye to football. The stadium cried. Supporters cried. And Totti himself struggled through tears as he delivered his emotional farewell speech. Because an era was ending. For many football fans, it felt like the end of something bigger than just a career. The end of football romance itself. Former teammate Daniele De Rossi once said, "There will never be another Totti." And perhaps he was right. Because football may never again see a player give so much of himself to one club, one city, and one identity. That is why Francesco Totti will always be remembered as a true footballing icon. Not just because of the goals. Not just because of the trophies. But because he proved loyalty could still exist in modern football. If you enjoyed this episode of True Footballing Icons, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another legendary football story. And let us know in the comments, is Francesco Totti the greatest one-club footballer of all time?